We don't just report the stories, we find the stories, getting the answers you deserve every day, every night. 41 Action News at 10. Clear, complete coverage. In a city where anything can happen, you deserve the truth. We don't just report the stories, we find the stories, never backing down, never shutting down, getting the answers you deserve. This is our promise to you, every day, every night.
Stand by. 3, 2, 1.
41 Action News at 10. Clear, complete coverage. In a city where anything can happen, you deserve the truth. We don't just report the stories, we find the stories, never backing down, never shutting down, getting the answers you deserve. This is our promise to you, every day, every night.
Stand by. 3, 2, 1.
41 Action News at 10. Clear, complete coverage.
Wake up today. Let's get it started. Turn it up, turn it on. Keep the morning moving right along. Yeah, waking up today and make you feel alright. I'm waking up today. Don't you know I'm ready for whatever comes my way. I'm waking up today.
At Newsy, we know it's not news until you tell the full story. That's why we're on the ground and in the thick of things to give you something more, like the truth. Look for Newsy in your channel guide or visit newsy.com/TV.
New clues in a death investigation as loved ones mourn a life gone too soon.
An unfulfilled promise. That's what Antonio's death looks like to me.
Who police are searching for in connection to that murder now.
50-year-old video from a historic day in Overland Park. What we discovered in the footage from the day of the bombing and bank robbery there, and how the man who shot that video described it.
And you're looking live at 435 westbound at Holmes. Oh boy, traffic moving along. Well, it's kind of moving. Let's get to Jade. What's going on?
Now that's the backup from a stalled vehicle up ahead. Very slow. Usually stalled vehicles don't cause a huge problem, but this one is in a very bad area. This is on those westbound lanes of I-435, just up ahead of Holmes, which is where we were just looking. This is at Warnell, and we have a right lane that's blocked. It's been blocked for a while out there, and it is causing a lot of issues. If you are heading on those westbound lanes, maybe to get on to the Kansas side, because we're close to the state line, that's going to cause you some problems out there this morning. Going about 36 miles per hour, maybe through that area, maybe even slower than that. We also have another crash that we're following, this time on the Kansas side, right on 435 as well, or at least the ramp off of 435 from eastbound I-435 to Quivira Road. You can see some flashing lights there. We do have a crash out there. Might cause a little bit of a slowdown for you if you are using that ramp to get onto Quivira this morning. So we will keep watching both of those issues out there, and I'll have another update in just a few minutes. Let's send it over to Lindsay Anderson with a look at our forecast.
All right, thank you so much, Jade. Maybe grab that sweatshirt, light jacket this morning. We're noticing those temperatures in the lower and middle 40s outside. 46 degrees at KCI, 47 Lee Summit. Lawrence, we're down to 41, and 48 in Overland Park. Not too bad in Johnson County, Kansas. So it is a cooler start for some of us in the middle to upper 40s, but luckily we warm up beautifully into the afternoon. In fact, by the lunch hour or recess today, we're at 56 degrees. Be sure you have your sunglasses for your lunch break. We're at 62 degrees, closer to that evening commute. By the time you pick up kids from school, maybe after school activities, it looks really pleasant out there. We're much cooler than yesterday, but still seasonal for this time of year. By tomorrow, things will slowly cool back down. 60 degrees at high temperature with increasing clouds for the second half of the day. And we're also tracking a few light rain showers possibly Thursday afternoon and evening as Hurricane Willa makes its way onshore Mexico. So we're going to have a closer look at Willa and that tropical moisture where most of the rain should fall here coming up.
Lizzie, thank you. 6:32 this morning, and police are now looking for this person of interest in the death of 18-year-old Antonio Jones.
Right now they're hoping that new clues could help to close that murder case. Only on 41 Action News, we sat down with Jones's sister nearly 3 months after her brother died.
Antonio was shot and killed in July at a gas station near 59th and Swope Parkway. Tiana McDaniel describes her brother Antonio as a caring and easygoing teenager who dreamed big.
He was like, I want to help kids and I want to make a difference and I want to show them that you can come from a certain place and still.
The case is still unsolved, but yesterday police released this picture of a man they describe as a person of interest. Police identify him as 18-year-old Ertavion Frazier. They asked anybody with information to call the TIPS hotline. A successful search after a weekend event. Volunteers found 2 people during the big search, a 3-day search for missing people in Kansas City. Organizers say they got several leads that could result in finding even more people. The search was a partnership between law enforcement, nonprofit organizations, and volunteers.
Earlier this month, we told you that this year marks the 50th anniversary of a bombing and bank robbery in Overland Park. Now, we got lots of viewer responses to that story. Thanks for those. But one in particular caught our eye. A viewer told us that he had video from that day 50 years ago, and he wanted to share it with us. This morning, we're sharing some of it with you.
We just happened to be in the area, a friend of mine and myself.
The area that Frank Spink is referencing is the neighborhood in Overland Park where police and the FBI were searching for Henry Floyd Brown and Andrew Gibson after the pair robbed Metcalf State Bank.
Well, I just went over there. I just thought, well, this is neat. I've never done this before, so I just went over there and started taking pictures.
And his pictures play out like a mixture of an old home video and a crime film. Patrol cars in the neighborhood, officers loading and unloading guns, and crowds of people gathered to watch. It perfectly matches what Myron Scaife, a former Overland Park police officer who was there that day, told us about the search.
We had all sorts of help from other law enforcement agencies, even though we didn't call them. I remember it being a rather chaotic situation.
And young Frank was right in the middle of it.
Right away, I had a friend who said, you gotta let Channel 41 know you've got that on film.
And we're awfully glad that he did. Tonight at 6, we will show you more of Frank's video, including just how close he was able to get to the investigation that day.
Crazy to see that.
Yeah.
Taylor, thanks. Right, 6:35 this morning. Shake Shack wants to expand across the state line, and today, Leawood city leaders plan to talk about that. The popular burger chain wants to open a location in town center. They hope to tear down the old On the Border location and turn that into 2 smaller buildings, and one of them would become a Shake Shack. Shake Shack opened their first location in Kansas City on the plaza about a month ago.
A new sports and recreation facility could be built along I-435 and Bannister Road. Here are the plans that were sent to us. Developers want to put this where the old Home Quarters shopping center used to be. It would include several indoor basketball courts. You can see them there. Looks like 8 at least. A fitness area, batting tunnels, sports medicine. The proposal is set to go before a city committee next week.
And Drury is halting their plans for a downtown hotel. Reports said the hotel withdrew its application for certain tax benefits. The company said it didn't believe the financial options offered for the project would work. Original plans called for the 242-room hotel to go where the old Kansas City Board of Education building currently stands. That's near 12th and McGee. How about a hiring spree coming to Kansas City? Could bring hundreds of jobs with it.
More than 200 openings include clerical, warehousing, other opportunities as well. Applicants have to be at least 18, have a high school degree or a GED, and they have to be able to maintain government security clearance.
So there are 3 different hiring events. They're all today. The first is at Union Station from 10 to 2. Cumulus Radio will have 20 employers accepting applications.
The next is at Russell Stover on Shawnee Mission Parkway. The chocolate company accepting applications from 11 to 7 today. And the Women's Employment Network is the 3rd company hiring today. They'll be at the Sheraton Hotel at Crown Center from 1 to 4. That's open to both men and women.
And luckily, weather is looking pretty nice if you're heading to any of that. We're talking about a lot of sunshine, temperatures eventually climbing into the low 60s, but you still might want that sweatshirt as you step out the door. 40s being reported for many of us within the 435 loop. We'll have your complete day planner and what's ahead for the rest of the week coming up.
And another look at I-435. This is right there at Warnell, and you can see that major backup all the way through Holmes. We're now showing 2 stalled vehicles just right in a row, right there near Warnell and then one right before, causing some issues out there for drivers and blocking a lane of traffic. So we will keep you updated all morning long, but right now it is slow to get through this area. We'll be right back after the break.
We're Brown.